the franchise Shane Douglas, and you watching Pounding the Meat.
Definitely a good buy. I'm feeling this one. We got an Elite Greatest Hits, Shawn Michaels. I'm feeling this one too. I think this is my first, maybe my second Elite Shawn Michaels. But I'm digging this. And we got RIP to the one and only Bray Wyatt. It's a basic, but I had to grab it. It was there. Why not, right? Why not add it to the collection? We got another Greatest Hits. Jake the Snake. This is Christian Jake, Austin 316 Jake. Beautiful, beautiful boy with the snake there. And one more. Another Greatest Hits. Now, this one I was surprised to even see available. We got a Bam Bam. Bam Bam Bigelow. Love this figure, man. Love it. Big fan of Bam Bam. And I love the Dark Side of the Ring with Bam Bam. That was really good, too. King J. Sean, did you get your NFL belt, too? No, I did not. I don't know why. I just wasn't feeling it, but I did get my Jalen Hurts jersey. The Kelly Green dropped this year, and I had to get it. Nico, what is good, baby? So I got the Jalen Hurts. I'll be rocking that this season for every single game for my Eagles. So, September 28th, we have the new season of Get the Strap Going. And that is totally run by Mr. J. Cross. And that is going to do a deep dive into, wrestling titles, their histories, some of the matches they're most known for. So that starts on September 28th. Jones, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's what it is. September 28th. Get the Strap. I'm looking forward to that. Now, I have no idea what he's doing. Thank you, RP. I appreciate it. I have no clue what Jay Cross is doing when it comes to that show. I prefer not to know because when I watch it, it's a total surprise for me. We do things that way, like whatever shows Jay's doing, Jones, whatever, they do them on their own. And then I just run the weekly with interviews and stuff like that. But I'm looking forward to the 28th. Get the Strap I've always loved. Thank you, Jones. Get the Strap I've always loved. It's especially if you're a part of the online wrestling belt collecting community, the hobby, whatever you want to call it. It has to do a lot with that as well. But really dives deep into the history of these titles. I don't even know what belts he's doing. No clue, and he never tells me, and I prefer not to know. So, until the 28th, the weekly of PTM. What is up? How are you doing, brother? I miss you, kid. How you been, okay? The weekly, it might not be every Thursday due to some personal things that I have going on right now. My schedule is getting rerouted. It's going in different directions, and there's just some personal life changes happening right now. I don't want to get into the details of that, but it will not allow me to be consistent with every Thursday, 8 o'clock sharp. You know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is, for the next few weeks, the weekly will just be strictly solo. It'll just be me, but it won't be every Thursday. One day it'll be Wednesday, one day it'll be Sunday. And then after Get the Strap starts, we're going to start like a rotation for the weekly. So 1 week it'll be me. 1 week it'll be me with a different guest. I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. 1 week it'll be all the guys. You know, depending on our schedules, where my schedule falls with the things that have changed with my personal life, you know, every week will be different, but that's kind of good for you because it gives you like a fresh new look every single week. It's not the same thing. The redundancy starts to become a factor. So I feel like it kind of helps, to be honest. This change was actually a blessing because it kind of makes me go, all right, we got to switch up the content a little bit. Let's change it up every week. Let's bring on different people. Let's bring on a specific guest that's new to the show this week. And, you know, different YouTubers are jumping on to different wrestling YouTubers, I should say, are signing on to join me maybe for a week's show. Some wrestling Instagram, you know, creators have already okayed to jump on, some TikTokers. So I think it's just going to set up some fresh content. But then another thing that's happening is Jay and Jones have taken the helms on creating some different content in the future. Because like I said, I have to take a step back a little bit. And they're going to take more of a role in creating the new content. For the weekly, Jones prefers to be back producer role, and I respect it because I know he has a lot going on too. But I don't want to completely stop because I love doing this. You know, I love being able to come on and just talk wrestling. That's always been a hobby of mine. It's always been fun for me. So I can either just cut it or change it up. So that way it fits what's going on personally. So that's where we're headed. So what that means for you is just make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Poundingthemeat.com is an easy way to get to it. Hit the notification bell so that way you're notified when shows are scheduled. The crew isn't going anywhere. You know, we're just going to be on more of a rotation to keep things fresh. And I think that's the best for everyone right now as far as what we have going on personally. So that is that. Excuse me. Let me take a drink here. So next week, I believe it will be a Thursday, 8 p.m. I think we're still good, but then the week after is where it might change days. I will know for sure by next week. And then I'll have more of a way to schedule things more consistently. But for right now, everything's kind of in the air. But don't worry. Get the Strap is really going to take over for the next few months, which will allow me to take a little bit of a break and kind of set the schedule right. Let's see. Mike Jones, did you take my belt? I heard Mr. Jones, Mr. King Jones, got himself a Classic Shields, and I heard he cried. I heard that he did other things with it, which I can't say on air right now because I'll get my ass whooped. Dirty Frank, nice. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Joey V says, keep it fresh. I dig it. Absolutely, bro. We got to keep it fresh. Now, wrestling. Tony Khan. I got to catch up on some shit going on. Tony Khan is it. Dude, what is wrong with this guy, bro? What is wrong with Tony Khan? As soon as he fires CM Punk, at all, was this Collision? Was this Collision or All Out? Oh, look, who's, wait a second, who's here? Ladies and gentlemen, look who snuck in here. The founder of All Elite Belts, Mr. Panetta, is here.
Thank you for having me, Vinny.
Where was this, by the way?
That was on Collision.
This was on Collision. He comes out in a chair to sit down and discuss the firing of CM Punk. Now, is this in Chicago? This was in Chicago, right?
That was in Chicago, and that was, I think, just before or just after they aired on television the opening segment where they announced that they fired CM Punk.
Wow.
He came to kind of cool down the crowd.
Wow. It did not work. King J. Sean says, what up, Panetta? All elite belts, baby. And what is up, Platinum? How are you, bro? Yeah. Oh, another thing, too, before we get into the wrestling. I will say that Mr. Panetta has really been a big help with helping me plan some of the future shows. More of a production role. He's been giving me ideas like crazy when it comes to pro wrestling guests, when it comes to social media creators that he thinks would be great guests on the show. So shout out to Panetta for really, really helping me. I appreciate it, bro.
All for the brand, baby. All for the brand.
You know the vibes. And some of the things he showed me, I think they're great. I mean, it should be awesome.
I bet you do.
You know, I mean, you know, those things too. Those private things. Yeah, so Tony Khan sits in a chair in Chicago. Now, Chicago is a city where, you know, there's about 20 shootings an hour. Probably 5 deaths an hour when it comes to the city of Chicago. And Tony Khan has the balls to sit in a chair and tell Chicago, I'm sorry, but this was what I had to do because I feared for my life.
His life was in danger. This is no joke. This is no joke. The man was on the verge of dying.
Bro. Now, Juan says it was obviously something the lawyers wanted to do, and it made him look way worse. And Juan, I don't think it was, man. Honestly, bro, when I saw this happen, this to me sounds like something Tony Khan decided to do on his own. That's how bad this was. You know what? I'm going to go out there. I'm going to sit down with my fans, with the AEW fans, and I'm going to explain to them why we had to do this. That way they understand. Why are you doing this in CM Punk's hometown? Number one.
Back-to-back nights.
And no, they did not like this. They booed him the entire fucking time. Literal boos. Bad.
His worst hour.
Mm-hmm.
His absolute worst hour.
Go on YouTube. Go on YouTube. Look this up. Put Tony Khan Chicago.
There's a lot of different angles, and you can really hear just how loud the boos
And he
were.
even tells the crowd to calm down. He's like, bro, all right, guys, okay. And they booed even louder. This was the worst thing he could have done.
That's when he took the seat. Someone put that folding chair out for him and just sat down. It's like a substitute teacher, you know, waiting for the class to kind of sit down or calm down.
Kevin says TK has some questionable instincts. I swear, bro, I don't know what he's thinking sometimes. Drew says, what up, brother? What up, Drew? Tony Khan, listen. I highly doubt, I'll bet money that his life was in jeopardy. Okay? There was a scuffle.
The monitors fell on him. What are you talking about?
The monitors fell on him. What kind of monitors do they have? Does he have a 120-inch monitor? No, I doubt it. Probably has a little 12-inch, 13-inch, falls on him, and then he's going to die?
You're compensating for him.
Come on, bro. It just made him, it made it seem real petty. Real petty.
Yet, man, online, it's a polar reaction, right? You've got the diehards, you've got the Bucks fans, and then you've got the Punk cult. And then with the news of good old Ace Steel today, we'll get to that in a second. But
yeah. I saw, well, first off, in regards to CM Punk, now this is just my opinion. All right, I don't have any inside sources. You know, I can't text a wrestler and say, hey, what's going on? I don't have any of that because I'm a fan, number one, and I don't know if I'd really want that, to be honest. I kind of love the guessing game. But I feel like this might have been purposeful. That's just my opinion. I think he was out before he was even in when it came to All In. I think he was tired of being there. I don't think he planned on staying too long. And the rumors of him possibly joining WWE, I mean, it's not that far-fetched.
I don't think it is, man.
It's really not.
It's likely. I think, obviously the executives need to make that final decision, and you're going to have guys and gals backstage that are either for it or against it, like in any promotion. Punk's a man of you love him or you hate him. There's really no in between, right? And you know what, though? It's a good business move, in my opinion.
CM Punk, regardless of his politics, his actions, his words, regardless, he brings numbers. He sells merch. He brings money to the company. Now, is that money worth the investment? That's the question, right? Now, remember last year, Punk was at, now, I don't know if this was confirmed or not. Punk was at Raw.
No, I'm pretty sure that was confirmed, Vinny. He was at Raw. He was at Impact.
Oh, that's right. He was at Impact. There were photos of that.
And when he was at Raw, he allegedly met with Hunter briefly before being escorted out. And I think he also talked to The Miz backstage. And they cleared the air.
Let's see. We saw that. Yep, we saw what Kevin said. Platinum says Tony Khan is doing what Paul Heyman did with ECW. The problem is that he sucks, and Heyman ran a cult. Pretty good comparison there. Juan says, fear for my life sounds like lawyer speak, but I'm sure that was the first fight he's seen in his life.
Released with cause. There's
with
your
cause.
lawyer speak.
Yeah. And then they have a show in Chicago coming up soon. So I don't know what was spoken between Triple H and CM Punk. Maybe, hi, how you been? What happened back then was, it's water under the bridge. I just wanted to come and say hi and say you're doing well. Triple H probably said, you know what? Proud of what you're doing too. They kept it kosher. Yeah. If there was a line thrown in where he said, if anything, maybe we can work again in the future.
Did you see Vince on Broken Skull Sessions quite a few years back where he said, I hope, Punk will look back after some years and maybe he'll regret some of the things that he said, but I hope he kind of ended that question. I hope that we can work together again someday.
Yep.
From the horse's mouth.
Yep. Now, will Vince still have a say? Because this deal with WWE is closing up
next week,
the 12th, right?
Yeah.
It's finalizing. So Endeavor will officially own WWE.
That's it.
51%, right? 51% of the company.
I think Vince will have not necessarily some say, but he has influence, right?
Oh, they'll ask him. Yeah, Vince, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? He'll still be in the weeds.
Now, see, everyone laughs at Punk, and maybe for good reason, about his MMA career, right? But he's got connections. He knows people. With this merger, who's to say that he's not kind of all in? Pardon the pun. Right?
He's close with Dana, right?
He's close with these guys, man.
Close with the UFC guys. Now, if they decide, listen, Punk's good for business, they bring him in. It's not far-fetched, bro. No, man, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's definitely a strong, strong possibility that CM Punk ends up in WWE for a little bit of a run.
Even if they give him a short run, man. A short run. Yeah. Sign him to, even if it's a short-term deal.
2-3 years.
I'd say even less than that, man. Sign him for a year. Sign him for a year.
How old is Punk now? What's his age? Let's see.
40. What is he? 40.
CM Punk.
44? I gotta look.
He's got to be. I mean, he's 44 years old. He's 2 years older than LA Knight. And LA Knight is doing his thing. So, listen, bro, I think they can get 2-3 years out of Punk.
I think so, too. Now, if you want him to kind of be on probation, right? See, is this guy going to stir the pot? Is he going to cause shit?
Have him do a run from Rumble to Mania, maybe.
Right? Imagine he shows up in the Rumble, number 30.
Mm-hmm. And the Rumble is about 45 minutes from my house. So I think I'm going to the Rumble this year. Road to WrestleMania. I think that would be the perfect time to bring Punk in. He's hot, with all the shit that's going on. Have him be a surprise entry into the Royal Rumble.
Even if he doesn't win, right? There was
even if he doesn't win,
that, he was going to be eliminated from Kevin Owens. If there's any truth to those rumors, right? And then set up a feud with Kevin Owens.
That'd be sick, bro.
I'm down for it, man. I know him and Rollins don't necessarily see eye to eye, and Rollins has been very vocal about CM Punk in general. He's a cancer,
he has,
right, to professional wrestling. But man,
what do you call him? He called him a jerk, right? He called him a jerk.
Called him a jerk, a cancer. He buried him in that shoot promo. Was that
He did.
Was that
That was at was that last WrestleMania?
I think so. WrestleMania weekend, I think.
Yeah.
And but I'd love to see it, especially if the World Heavyweight title's on the line.
Hey,
that's money, man.
Listen, if Endeavor goes up to Seth Rollins and they go, "Listen, you're working with Punk," what's Seth freaking Rollins going to say? No, he's a jerk. He's going to be like, okay.
I think it's a different culture in WWE, man. It's a different culture. And it's run like a business.
Punk needs structure.
Yeah.
Punk needs to be told what to do. He cannot have any creative freedom, bro. Punk just can't.
A Punk mark, but I think none of this.
No, you are a Punk mark, 110%. If Punk, listen, if Punk called Facebook and had your Facebook page taken down and murdered an old woman on the streets of Chicago, you would find ways to justify it. That's how much of a Punk mark you are, right? Yeah. Punk can do no wrong.
Listen, man, none of this would have happened if Tony just put his foot down. Tony had some balls, man.
I did not know this. Survivor Series is located in all places, Chicago.
There you go.
That would be interesting.
Now that's
Nico confirmed.
Full release with cause, right? Does he have a no compete with that firing?
I don't know.
I don't think he would, but
and if they do, normally it's 6 months to a year, isn't it? It's just
But with cause, it makes you wonder if there is no compete clause attached to that separation with AEW. He shows up in Survivor
Punk
Series.
in WWE, bro.
Man, I think his return to WWE. I don't want to knock the return to AEW because that was one of, if not the most exciting moments in AEW's short history. Right, Punk returning to wrestling. His music hits, whether it be whether it be at Survivor Series. I think his return to WWE could be massive.
I mean,
you'll become a CM Punk mark just like me, baby. If he
whether you like it or you don't like it, it's good for business.
It is, man.
Because all it does, it gets people talking. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. Who's talking about who?
Overshadowed Wembley, you could argue.
Oh, dude.
81,000 plus fans in the largest wrestling event. And the news was Punk beating up Jack Perry backstage.
Bro, that's crazy. TK definitely deserves a lot of the blame. I would agree. He did not. Listen, it still sounds like to me that, they run Khan backstage. He has his guys and they tell him what to do. Bro, Khan from day one should have gotten these guys in a room at the first sign of anything going down and gotten them to settle their shit or you're all gone.
I agree. Right after the brawl out, man. Yeah. That's when it should have been nipped in the butt.
Like, what the fuck, bro? You are the owner of this company. What? And
then he creates two different shows. There's the analogy that he collects action figures, right? That Tony Khan's just collecting his action figures. If you really want to, this is the thing. He doesn't have he might own a lot of companies, but he still doesn't understand how businesses work, at least on how the wrestling business works. Sit them all down and Punk, Omega, the Bucks, everyone involved. Settle your shit, man.
Kevin says if he had an employment contract too and fired for cause, I imagine he wouldn't have a non-compete.
That's a good point.
Nico says the elite EVPs are out of control. TK needs a heater to drop the hammer. Now, isn't that what Cornette stated? Who stated this? Or no, this was Vince Russo, actually. Vince Russo of all people.
The fact that Russo and Cornette are on the same page in all of this, the hate that they have for each other, and yet they can see eye to eye.
I gotta have Russo on again, bro. I would love to hear his talk on Punk, AEW.
That's money. That's what's good for business.
The amount of bros, he's just, you know what it is, bro? It's not even his takes. It's just him. The way he talks is just so funny to me.
Oh man,
he's so passionate. He emphasizes every word.
It's coming from the heart. He's not bullshitting.
Everything. And I can't do anything but believe the guy.
No, he's
I believe him.
He's genuine.
Let's see. Bound for Glory. No one cares, Jones. Joey V says, talking wrestling is my forte.
Some people care about Bound for small percentage.
Jones goes, listen, there's a little cart on the corner of 8th and 10th on Chicago that sells wrestling magazines. Punk might show up there. Drew says that tears it. Armageddon, Cornette and Russo agree on something.
End of the world, Drew.
It's crazy. I gotta have Russo back on. That'd be sick, dude.
Let's make it happen.
I'll hit him up. I'll hit him up. I'm sure he would come back on. So, Punk, possibility, WWE. I'm all for it. I'm all about it because I love the drama. It gets wrestling headlines going.
Made ESPN, Sports Illustrated, all the tabloids, man.
I'm not against it.
And this is the thing, even though he's fired and his future is kind of up in the air.
We need to have Ahmed Johnson go into his closet and remember that, bro?
Yeah, man.
Yo, Ahmed Johnson. For those of you who don't know, you can see the interview in the videos. Ahmed Johnson told me he still has his gold Intercontinental title in a closet. I asked him to go get it. He goes, I'd have to dig it out. The next day, Dan McMahon posts a photo. He's like, no, I have it.
He was waiting to
I
drop.
fucking have it.
Oh,
Jesus.
man, too funny.
Poor Ahmed, bro.
I don't have in his closet. If anything,
the heart to call him out, bro, because he's so nice. I feel bad for him, bro.
I know some people don't like Ahmed, but
Ahmed Johnson.
After that interview, how could you not?
I love him, bro. He's such a good guy. Too much beauty in this screen. Bedoy, you sexual piece of meat.
Is Bedoy legal?
I don't know. How old are you, Bedoy? Let me know before we continue.
I don't want to.
Bedoy's going to be on the show too. I would love to have Bedoy on because he's just talent beyond. Ace Steel is a CM Punk's, I guess, his best friend. Would you say?
His trainer since day one.
Now I'm surprised that it took them this long to fire Ace Steel.
The man was working from home. What a gig!
What did Ace Steel do? What did he do?
He was part of creative, I believe.
Was he?
Yeah, he had a backstage role. He wasn't just Punk's manager and coach. He had a backstage producer role. And after Punk is the only guy to be fired from WWE and AEW. Ace Steel is the only guy to be fired from WWE and AEW twice.
Are you serious, bro?
Twice. They fired him after Brawl Out.
Was that a suspension or was that a termination?
No, I'm pretty sure they fired him. They reinstated him. They brought him back. They figured out how to kind of make this work. He was working from home. He wasn't allowed to be at Collision in person. He's been released again. But the guy probably made bank.
We have our fact checker here, Mr. Joey V. Punk wasn't fired, but he technically did leave. But then didn't they send him a termination letter?
On his wedding day.
So I mean, tomato. I don't know if they sent the papers.
The man apologized for it.
Yeah, he did.
So,
this is an interesting question. Grandma Daisy, long time no see. How you been? Vinny Vegas interview Virgil again. That is not out of the deck of cards. Okay, how's Virgil doing? That's the issue. Yeah. Virgil. He's at a point to where he's pretty sick. Not like physically ill, but just mentally, dementia is really taken over his life, and then he has the cancer that he's battling.
He's got a lot going on.
And I would be afraid to be looked at as someone who takes advantage of his illness for comedic gold.
Yeah.
Because, regardless, Virgil's funny. He's always been funny. He's always been,
The breadstick man.
a crazy dude, right? But
Wild.
I don't want people who don't know our history to see something and be like, oh, look at them taking advantage of that poor guy. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it.
No,
but I do talk to him here and there. He's doing good. I mean, he still goes to signings and stuff, but he's still battling those illnesses. And I hope he gets through it all right, because dementia doesn't go away. It's a tough disease.
How old is Virgil now, Vinny?
Virgil, that's a good question. Let's see. We just had his birthday not too long ago. Let's see. Birthday. Virgil. He lies about this too. Now, according to Wikipedia, the end all be all, he's 61.
Okay.
Yeah, he just had a birthday in June. I am going to purchase that, Grandma. The Virgil figure is coming out. It is about time they put some respect on my man's name.
Way too long.
The real Mike Jones. He's a real fucking Mike Jones.
Oh, man. But yeah, he's got cancer. He's got dementia. And
He's got a lot going on, bro.
I'm not sure if his symptoms are mild at this time or if they're progressing. But
Yeah, I know. I know his dementia. I was talking to the person he lives with, Sean, is his name, and they're treating it, but he said he can only do so much. The poor guy. Let's see. JB Rocker says, yeah, I have a family member fighting dementia. It's rough to see. It is tough. And listen, Virgil's told stories as it is. I remember Virgil, before the dementia kicked in, he told me he was at like 11 WrestleManias. 10 or 11 WrestleManias. He was at like 3 or 4. This guy, he loves to tell stories. He's like a Marty Jannetty.
almost like a Hogan.
No one's close to a Hogan.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Hogan was. Did you hear that Hogan was with Michael Jackson and
Oh my God.
Muhammad Ali?
Apparently Hogan fought in UFC too. Hogan, bro.
He's lived.
If y'all go on Twitter, bro, there's a thread there. Just look up Hogan lies. There's a thread of all the lies. I didn't know Hogan was that much of a liar.
Pathological
Hogan,
liar.
he's the biggest dude in wrestling, right? The biggest man in wrestling. He doesn't have to lie.
No, he doesn't. His resume speaks for itself. And
Of course.
yet, the things he comes up
Bro.
with. And so naturally, too.
What is
So
it with
naturally.
these guys? Their lies, dude.
Well,
It's not. Do they know the network exists? Do they know Peacock? Do they know the internet exists?
no, I don't know, man.
Oh my God.
It's wild. It's wild, but it's entertaining.
Hulkster in heaven. My boy Jay sent me a video. Hulkster in heaven. It was funny. Virgil was at 5. He told me at 11. 11. So, Ace Steel gone. Got the boot.
Out of here. He's out of here.
He's gone. And my man.
Yeah.
Knight. Yeah.
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 What did you sign? 5 years, Vinny? Something like that? That's what the
Well-
reports are saying.
I read an article where in 2021, I believe it was, when he came back to WWE, he said, and I quote, "Give me 3 months, and if I don't start to get over, you can get rid of me."
Oof.
This man bet on himself, bro.
Chips were all in.
Now, a lot of people fell in love with this guy, TNA, NXT, Impact, what have you.
NWA.
NWA. I don't have that much of a history. I fell in love with him when he was Maximum Male Models leader. That's when I fell in love with this guy. All right.
Let's not go there.
I knew nothing about LA Knight. I knew nothing at all. But as soon as I saw this man on the mic with Maximum Male Models, I was like, this guy's a star.
He's got it.
He's
You
got
can
something.
take a gimmick like I wasn't a fan of that gimmick. I know you were, so
I loved it.
I'll be
I
careful.
loved it.
But you know what? He made it work, man. He made it work, and he just put all those guys over. He was great on the mic, great in the ring.
He was awesome.
Time he got on the big stage because he was incredible in TNA. Incredible in NWA.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of his TNA work.
If you get a chance, go back. Just watch some highlights. Watch some highlights. Even his NWA work. Eli Drake was phenomenal. Great.
That was his name, Eli Drake.
Eli Drake.
Yeah, when I hear Drake, I think of that video game for PlayStation. What is it? What is it? It's one word. Uncharted. Uncharted, bro.
My mind.
Vinny has an eye for talent. I do, bro. You know, I found the maximum male models, and WWE fucked them up. You know, I saw a big future for maximum male models. Before, it was dummy. What is that? What's dummy? Was that his thing? Before,
It was one of his.
He would say dummy, something like that.
He had a few quirky things that he said, and I think he's explained how his vernacular has changed kind of over his career and who's inspired him. Because a lot of guys say he's just a ripoff of The Rock and Stone Cold, and he's just a wannabe Attitude Era guy. That's some of the criticisms that he gets.
Yeah. Well, I will listen. I will say this, and a lot of people have said this to me too, like people who don't watch wrestling, when they watch LA Knight walk out, bro, it is Stone Cold Steve Austin. For sure. He's got the vest.
He's got that vibe.
He's got the strut.
And when you listen to his voice, right? You know? Close your eyes the next time he's cutting a promo. You think of Dwayne.
The Rock, right? Yeah. I mean, he's got it, and I think it's fresh. It's something new. See, the people who didn't grow up in the Attitude Era, this is new for them. And I think that's why he's really over right now, because it's something fresh. It's something that we saw growing up.
Randall Angel just put up a comment. Yeah.
Eli Drake should have had a world title win over Aldis NWA.
Yes.
So Eli Drake, man,
he was a star in
NWA. How old was he during NWA days? I guess 30s.
Wasn't that long ago, man. This was before he came to.
He's 42, I think.
This is before he came to WWE. He and Nick Aldis were the top guys in NWA. What?
He's 40
years ago.
He's 40 years old, so he's in his 30s, I presume.
Pre-pandemic NWA. I will go so far to say, Jones, don't get upset with me. It was the best. It was better than Impact, better than anything. NWA was the shits.
Eli Drake.
Man, it was so good. Eli Drake. I'll send you some clips.
When his music hits the pop, I'm telling you,
who's got a bigger pop, Cody or LA Knight? They're comparable, man.
They are.
I think we're inclined to say, Cody's got the upper hand.
Well, Cody has the advantage because he's got the singing along.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't really sing along with LA Knight, but
the pop is huge, bro.
I will say this. At Payback, I'm a big LA Knight guy, but the Payback match was very mid. It was mid for me. Very mid.
It was his, I'm going to say, and no fault of his own, it was his worst match in WWE.
Wow. You think so?
I think so.
Wow.
It didn't have it, man.
I didn't feel really invested in the match. You know, I wanted to be, but I just didn't feel that organic investment.
Good. I'm not going to say it was a terrible match.
Okay.
It was okay, but it wasn't his finest hour.
I did not like. I will say this. I thought they were setting something up with him and Cena, you know, to give him that Cena rub. But then at the end, when they shook hands and all that, I didn't like
his shirt off.
Yeah, I didn't like that, bro. I'm like, come on, man.
Are they alluding to something? Are they going to work together?
Maybe.
Passing up the torch, so to speak.
So I'm not the only one. Yep, the match wasn't great. Panetta says it's
and
the
Nico
worst match.
was there, man. Nico was there.
Nico was there?
Yeah, man.
Nico, you were live at that match?
He fought Johnny in a dark match.
Woo! Bonkers. What's up, man? Long time no see, brother. Let's see. Should have brought out the real glass. Yeah. Yo, so my man Jay right here. I've a lot of friends named Jay for some reason. His wife despises. Yeah. He constantly says it, bro. And I think a lot of fans do that.
All the more reason to say it.
It's so bad. Yeah, it's Randall says LA Knight is way over. Payback match wasn't good. So I guess it's universally known that the Payback match wasn't all that. And that was the match I was most excited for.
Yeah.
So Randall says you look like Messi.
I'll take that,
I will
especially coming
take
from
Messi's
Randall.
paycheck.
Wow.
110%.
Yeah, I'll take that too.
So LA Knight signs a 5-year deal with WWE.
Good for him.
That's really good for him. They are building him to be the face. This is what I was surprised about. They are building him to be the face of SmackDown.
See,
I thought they were moving him to Raw because Raw. I feel Raw needs him more.
Well, if the rumors are that Cody is getting traded, right? Because Jay Uso is he's been brought to Raw, right?
They're trading Cody?
Someone's going to be going down to SmackDown. If, and a lot of people are speculating that Cody's going back down to SmackDown to kind of even the playing fields, then I don't know. I just don't want LA Knight to get kind of lost in Cody.
Yeah, I don't know. If Cody goes to SmackDown, I think that kills Raw. Because Jay Uso, he's hot right now.
Yeah.
Because of the whole bloodline breakup thing. But can Jay really consistently stay hot?
I don't think so.
No.
And Cody is one of the reasons I think myself and a lot of people tune into Raw.
That's really it. I think Cody needs to stay.
No, I really enjoyed Rollins and Shinsuke. It's a great match, great build. I want to see where they go from here, but Cody is the draw.
Cody is definitely the Raw headliner.
You take him off, they're gonna take a hit in viewership.
Now, I believe that I thought they were gonna move LA Knight to Raw because of the whole Miz thing. But from what I'm reading now, this isn't, set in stone. They're staying on SmackDown as the ultimate babyface.
Yeah.
What that means, I don't know. Now, the United States is on SmackDown, the United States Championship.
Yeah.
And that is held still by Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio, yeah.
Okay. So if you want to build him up, you can have him do a feud with the LWO. That sounds boring as fuck, honestly.
I'm not feeling that.
I'm not feeling that whatsoever. I would love him to be on Raw and LA Knight Gunther.
Oof. Let's talk about Gunther for a sec, right?
Listen.
He is the longest reigning Intercontinental champion.
That deserves a round of applause. Now, you posted that on the Facebook page.
I did.
And there was a lot of pushback on that. There were a lot of... I noticed our Facebook page is hardcore 80s. Right? They're hardcore 80s.
Guys who don't watch the product now, but are trying to relive the glory days.
But I'll put a photo of General Adnan. May he rest in peace, and they go apeshit for it.
Blew up, right? But the post I put up, a lot of people.
No one gives a shit about it.
Who the hell is Gunther? They got mad.
They did, bro. They hate Gunther.
I think they hate anything modern.
Is this a new series? No, this is still PTM, but we're switching it up week to week. This RD, I see RD all the time. How you doing, brother, man? Long time no see, bro.
My brother
Kevin says, seriously, did anyone imagine Gunther would be utilized at this level when he first got out of NXT? People hated the name Gunther. People despise the name change.
I'm not going to lie. It took me a while to warm up to it.
John Bedoy says, Honky Tonk Man crying somewhere.
He just tweeted.
Twitter,
man.
He just tweeted, bro.
Tweeted the whole week.
He's so pissed.
He's salty, bro.
Joey agrees that he's still not the greatest IC champ of all time. There are some Honky Tonk fans out there, bro, that will always consider him the greatest of all time.
You got the WWE Superstar. You're showing the Ultimate Warrior at the beginning of the show. You have the Honky Tonk Man as well?
Does he beat Honky Tonk?
No. Do you have the Honky Tonk?
I don't know.
I picked him up not that long ago. He's a nice figure.
I just took a picture. I saw Macho Man.
Is that the new Macho Man?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll show you right here, actually. I found these.
Bro, you got to go back for me.
Do I need these? Because I found these in Jersey. I
need
Typhoon,
The Rock and I need Macho Man, bro.
Typhoon, Mr. T,
You're
Macho.
showing me now.
Yeah, bro.
Almost every day, and you're showing this to me now.
I was surprised that they even had that.
Man.
But I don't really collect those, So.
I do.
Oh, see, I should have grabbed them. Do you need them?
I kind of do.
I'll tell my dad because he goes and checks for me. I'll tell
Anna.
him.
Come on, Anna.
Anna will grab the wrong figure. I know she will. Let's see. Joey Fee says Honky Tonk wasn't even supposed to win the belt. He got lucky. Honky Tonk trying to add an extra day onto his record.
I got my Honky Tonk LJN right above me, looking down. I put him dead center of the desk because when my wife's using the computer here, she hates Honky Tonk, man.
It's over, Honky. It's over, bro.
He's so mad. I can't
Let
wait
it go.
What else he's going to tweet, bro?
He's so crazy. But yeah, shout out to LA Knight. I'm wondering what the money is, bro. I'm wondering what they paid this man. They must have really paid him.
And he deserves it. He deserves every dollar. Because if you can go out there and grab a crowd, no matter where you go, like he does.
Not only that, but he is the #1 merch seller for the past month and a half, 2 months.
So long as he doesn't get into any fights backstage, you know.
That's
you don't want another
insane,
merch
bro.
seller to get fired.
And I feel like he blew up out of nowhere. That's what I honestly
It's a
feel
slow
like
burn,
it was.
man. It was a slow burn when you look at his career, and then he got on the big stage and he ran with it.
But even like when he came to WWE as LA Knight, it took a while.
It did.
Because he had that
get
whole
his
thing with
funds
Bray, you know?
And he was really emotional about that, right? Especially during the Bray tribute. His last match. It was not a very good match, right? The Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was critically.
We trashed it. Let's be real.
Oh, no, we did.
We all trashed that match. And I know you did too. All of you. All of you trashed that match. And it's okay.
Just this is where we have to be honest with ourselves, right? I know Bray has passed, and a lot of fans are certainly hurt by that. It's hard when a current wrestler, right, on the roster at this time dies.
Yeah, rest in
It hasn't
peace,
been
man.
like this since what, Eddie?
Yeah,
Well,
but I mean, not this young.
Yeah,
This
Brody Lee was what, 41?
Around there.
Yeah,
but still, he had left WWE too. Not saying that takes away from it, but
so I think
it was much
Eddie
of,
Guerrero
it wasn't
was
as
the
much
last
of an
one.
impact as Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, I think Eddie Guerrero then was the last.
Yeah,
Of that magnitude kind of thing.
I mean, Owen was huge because no one will ever top Owen.
No,
because of what happened. You know,
the most tragic, if you will, death in professional wrestling. But no, the last match being with Bray Wyatt, it was, I think, hard for LA Knight to kind of swallow that pill, right?
Yeah.
And that last match really pushed him in many ways, elevated him to the top, despite how we felt about it, how a lot of people felt about it. It's LA Knight's a star, man. Wherever he goes, when SmackDown was in Toronto, he was on one of our breakfast. It's called Breakfast Television, one of our morning TV shows that a lot of people in Toronto watch every time. He was interviewed. Like, no matter where this guy goes, he is getting that recognition.
Good for him, bro. And I think it's earned. It's organic, which is a big thing because he wasn't pushed. Let's be honest. He wasn't pushed. It's just an organic following. And that is what makes it big. Yeah. Babel says, wasn't Honky supposed to drop to Savage at Mania 4 and refused and threatened to walk out? And that's why they decided to put the world title on Savage. Joey V responds, no, Honky wasn't supposed to drop the belt to Savage at 4. He was supposed to drop it to him before that.
Either way, he did not drop it.
My man. But so shout out to LA Knight, bro. I'm happy for him. I'm looking forward to the future with LA Knight.